Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech Titans. Today we're talking about a really interesting decision a lot of you are facing right now. I've been getting so many questions about this, like, is it better to buy last year's Pro model, or should you just go for the brand new base model? In my hands, I have the iPhone 16 Pro in this gorgeous desert titanium and the brand new iPhone 17 in lavender. And you know, when the 16 Pro first released, the big talking point was that camera control button and the refined thermal management. But now, with the iPhone 17 completely changing what a base model means, things are getting complicated. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my day-to-day experiences with both of these phones. We'll talk about the design, the display's performance and battery life, and this is a big one, how the new iOS 27 Apple Intelligence features totally changed my perspective on upgrading. So grab a coffee, relax, and let's just chat about which one actually makes sense for you. Alright, let's start with the design and the display, because yeah, there are some pretty noticeable differences here. My iPhone 16 Pro here is the desert titanium, and honestly for me it's the best color. It's sleek, it has this luxury, elegant vibe to it. And this is actually a pretty special phone because it's the last titanium Pro iPhone before Apple moved to the unibody aluminum on the newer models. I just really prefer titanium. It feels so solid and strong in the hand, but it's not super heavy like the old stainless steel on the 14 Pro. I feel like I don't really need to baby it as much as I do on 17 Pro. On the flip side, the iPhone 17 has that classic aluminum feel, and the design is pretty similar to the 16 series. Both phones now have the action button and the camera control button. I'll be honest, the camera control it's a nice to have feature. It's not really a must-have for my workflow, but it's cool that it's there. But the display, wow. This is where Apple really made the base model a game changer this year. For years, the base model had a 60Hz screen, which, felt a bit choppy. But the iPhone 17 finally gets the ProMotion display 1 Hz all the way to 120 Hz. It makes the base model feel like a Pro. It's buttery smooth, the bezels are super thin, and it hits an insane 3000 nits of peak brightness. It is so useful outdoors under the sun. The 16 Pro is no slouch though. It bumped the screen size to 6.3 inches last year, and the display is still incredibly vibrant and fluid. Side by side, the 17 feels a bit more modern with the thinner bezels and crazy brightness, but the 16 Pro screen is still top tier. Moving on to performance. So I bought this 16 Pro used from a friend back in early January 2026 as a backup daily driver and review unit. And guys, the performance is still fantastic. It uses the 18 Pro chip, and what's really interesting is that Apple is actually using this exact same A18 Pro chip and 8GB of RAM combination in the new MacBook Neo they released back in March. If a chip is powerful enough to run a Mac, you know it's going to fly on a phone. I run Geekbench 6 on it, and it scores around 3519 on single core and 8686 on multi-core. But more importantly, the thermal management is so much better than the 15 Pro. As a 15 Pro user, I definitely noticed those heating issues, and yeah, Apple really fixed it with the 16 Pro. It's a very mature product. It can play next-gen AAA games perfectly. It gets warm, sure, but not that annoying throttle-heavy heat. Now, the iPhone 17 uses the new A19 chip. The Geekbench scores are insane. 3675 single core and 9331 multi-core. It actually beats last year's 16 Pro Max in benchmarks. Paired with that 120Hz display, everything from casual apps to heavy gaming is just flawless. But honestly, in day-to-day use, the gap between the 16 Pro and 17 isn't massive. Both are incredibly fast. Okay, we have to talk about software, specifically iOS 27, because this is the real dividing line between modern and pre-modern iPhones. I've been running the iOS 27 beta, and it brings this much more mature liquid glass UI. You can even adjust the intensity of the glass effect in the settings now from clear to more tinted, which is a neat little customization. They also updated the battery indicator icon. But the huge deal is the new Siri powered by Apple Intelligence. You know, on iOS 26, the AI was, well, let's be honest, it was a bit immature. But iOS 27 changes everything. You now have a dedicated Siri app on the home screen that works a lot like ChatGPT or Gemini. The camera app has a smarter visual intelligence built in too. The real magic for me is in the Photos app. The new Smart Cleanup actually works incredibly well now, and they added 2 new AI tools, Extend and Reframe. I did a side-by-side with my other iPhone running iOS 26, and the results on iOS 27 are night and day. It's fast, it's smart, and it processes privately. Because of this, my absolute minimum recommendation for buying an iPhone right now is the 15 Pro, just so you have the 8 GB of RAM required to run this AI smoothly without background apps constantly reloading. Now, let's talk battery life. For my 16 Pro, the battery health is currently at 96% with around 250 cycle counts. I do notice improvements with the adaptive power feature. It easily gets me through a full day of mainstream tasks, social media, browsing, calling. I usually unplug at 8 a.m. and by 9 p.m. I'm just hitting that 20% low battery warning. But the iPhone 17 really shines here. It packs a slightly larger 3692 mAh battery compared to the 16 Pro's 3582 mAh battery, and with the ultra-efficient A19 chip, the battery life is just phenomenal. After 10 months as my heavily used secondary phone, my 17 is still at 96% health. I can go a whole day on Wi-Fi doing casual tasks and Google Docs and still have 15 to 20% left at 11 p.m. Plus, the 17 supports wired fast charging up to 40 watts, so it recovers power way faster than the 16 Pro's traditional charging speeds. Camera-wise, both phones share a fantastic 48 megapixel main sensor. But here is where your specific needs really matter. The iPhone 16 Pro has that dedicated 5x telephoto lens, which is incredible for portraits and long zoom shots. It also supports ProRes, ProRAW, Apple Log, and 4K recording at 120 frames per second. But the biggest deal for content creators? The 16 Pro has a super fast USB-C 3 port. When I need to transfer huge 4K video files over to my PCs for editing, it takes seconds. The iPhone 17, while it has a really fun new 18 megapixel ultra-wide front camera that can shoot in landscape natively for vlogging, is stuck with standard USB 2 speeds on its Type-C port. It's convenient and universal, yeah, but the transfer speed is just as slow as the old Lightning cables. If you shoot a lot of video, that is a huge downside. So, which one should you buy? Right now, the iPhone 17 is a massive success. Reports from Q1 2026 showed it was the world's best-selling smartphone, and for good reason. Apple bumped the base storage to 256 GB without raising the $799 price tag. If you want a future-proof brand new phone with a warranty, ProMotion, and you don't care about transferring massive video files or optical zoom, the iPhone 17 is an absolute no-brainer. However, you really need to consider the market right now. Apple certified refurbished iPhone 16 Pros are dropping to around $779. At that price, it is an absolute steal. You get a new battery, a new shell, a warranty, plus the titanium build, the 5x optical zoom, and super fast USB-C. Also, keep in mind what's coming. Multiple reports suggest the iPhone 18 series is getting a split launch. The 18 Pro in September 2026 and the standard 18 delayed until spring 2027. Because of rising memory costs for AI, the 18 Pro could see a $200 price hike starting at around $1,299. My final thought, if you are on an iPhone 13 Pro or older and you want premium features on a budget, go for the iPhone 16 Pro. The value is unbeatable. But if you just want the most reliable, modern, and efficient daily driver straight out of the box, you will not regret the iPhone 17. Let me know down in the comments which one you guys are leaning toward. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.